Cyware, the leading provider of operational threat intelligence and collective defense solutions, has collaborated with Team Cymru to pre-configure Team Cymru's industry-leading threat feeds into Cyware's threat intelligence platform. This package solution delivers real-time visibility into botnets, malware, command and control infrastructure, and external malicious activity, empowering organizations to detect and respond faster to even the most sophisticated adversaries. In this video, we will take a look at how CTIX users can leverage high-fidelity IP intelligence from Team Cymru to identify malicious activities such as command and control servers, botnet traffic, and compromised endpoints. Let's begin. So what we'll do here is we'll start directly from threat data, and we can actually do a quick search, which I searched on indicators from Team Cymru, looking for indicators that have risk scores of greater than 60. I received this list of indicators. In this one, I particularly randomly chose this IP address that has a 76% risk score. When I go into it, it will take me directly into the overview, and what you'll find is the risk scores, other reported threat feeds, and sources. I'm going through all the relations and really looking for attributes that stand out. Obviously, this is NetFlow detected intelligence, and there's other things like reputation keys collected and just a host of valuable information with custom attributes. We can also go in and take a look at the analysis. The analysis is very important because looking at what Team Cymru has provided us, we see that this IP address is associated with a botnet known for Zoro DDoS malware activity. We see that its reputation score is at 100, so this is really a threatening indicator based on Team Cymru intelligence research. We see it's been detected over 683 times actively and 20 times passively in the last 30 days, and its geolocation is out of Brazil. This NetFlow detection data, which is very valuable in investigations, we see the suspiciousness of this particular indicator in the insights. We also see it's been identified as an SQL scanner scanning for associated services, which is very interesting. There's a good amount of tag metadata and correlation that we want enriched on this indicator to give us additional details there. There's also all the relations that go with this. You can see there's quite a bit of detail from good objects like infrastructure and malware, various related details, and what we can do is really dive into some of the actions such as creating a rule, because manually we've done this by searching threat data, but now I want to start looking for any type of victim identification indicators coming from Team Cymru. I can start tracking various indicators that are highlighted, relevant, and risky in nature. If I were to go into the rules, I can create a simple rule looking for victim identification bot activity from Team Cymru. The conditions will be indicators. I want all of the indicators. It could be IPs, domains, various indicators that are threatening from the C2 infrastructure, as well as risky scores above 70. If I find those, I can create automated actions to publish the collections, looking for high-confidence IOCs that we are tracking that can be picked up by other external tools to facilitate workflows and triage particular indicators. We can also send notifications to users that are relevant, letting them know that they are victims and identified indicators that meet certain criteria. You really want to get that information out as a part of your triage actions. Of course, as we dive into this, we might want to investigate it. From going into this, we can do what we've always done and view the threat investigation, and as we do that, I can take this IP address, start looking at some of the nodes like Zoro DDoS, the actual infrastructure. We see a couple of geolocations from Brazil, and of course the ASN. We also see the SQL scanning. We know that there are associations there that we don't know a lot about. We don't know if it's affiliated with other malware families or behaviors, but we really want to leverage all of this detail and, of course, right-click and pivot. We can actually go in and view additional details and dive into this, or maybe I want to go in and right-click and analyze relations. I want to really look at the SQL scanner, understand more about it, the infrastructure, etc., and if I do that, I will get a swath of additional things that we didn't know about literally seconds ago just by a click. We see all these other IP addresses, which there are quite a few from the SQL scanner infrastructure. This tells us that there's a whole other ecosystem of bot activity happening and other victims. All these victims that are bots now are associated with this C2 controller doing SQL scanning as a behavior. We can also look at it and see there's an IP address here. Maybe I want to take a look at this IP address and see a little bit more about it. Now I can take a look at it and see some scoring. I can actually take a look at the tags and see some additional information. This is SQL scanning, so knowing that it's SQL scanning, there's a lot to glean from it. We know what it does is composed of a large amount of compromised devices and victims. We know that it usually looks to SQL scan to look for weaknesses or look for CQL vulnerabilities, really searching associated services. As you can see, the DDoS is putting out a lot of traffic and communication in the network maliciously to look for vulnerable hosts and vulnerabilities that are out there. This is to facilitate botnet expansion and also be able to really enforce other vulnerable actions that are threats to those particular victims. We also see here that there's scanner botnet IP addresses, VPN scanning, and it's also associated with another malware family, Gumbler, and we know Gumbler is pretty threatening. We know that this particular malware family is known to do wide net scanning, really looking to target and exploit victims and indicator IPs and infrastructure based on various vulnerable techniques. We also find that not only was the original indicator that we initially investigated from Brazil, but we also see this IP address is geolocated in Venezuela, which is in South America, so we see correlations from the targets. We also see other correlation to South America and, of course, global assets around this particular botnet. So there's a lot that can be gathered from this, but the net is really being able to understand, automate, investigate, and be able to continuously monitor victims and malicious, targeted bots and indicators that could potentially be impacting you and could be victimized by these multiple malware families that work and seem to affiliate and to expand upon their operations. Today, we gave you a big picture of how to leverage CTICs to manage, monitor, and visualize Team Cymru's threat intelligence to give you a bigger picture of how threats can really expand and become relevant to you. For more information, visit us at cyware.com and connect with one of our representatives.